My creed as a Canadian is summed up in these words. I am a Canadian, a free Canadian, free to speak without fear, free to worship God in my own way, free to stand for what I think right, free to oppose what I believe wrong, free to choose those who shall govern my country. This heritage of freedom I pledge to uphold for myself and all mankind, for I am a Canadian.
These are troubled times in which we live. The world around us is racked with dissension and violence. Here in Canada, so far we have escaped these dangers, but all of us are concerned about our country and its future. We're disturbed because of the danger of disintegration from within.
Because a democracy is essentially an exchange of ideas between those who govern and those who are governed. And a good government can only exist if there is this kind of exchange of ideas, this kind of confrontation between those who aspire to lead the people.
My instinct is when somebody doesn't answer questions, even simple and fairly innocuous questions in a straightforward manner, there may be something else.
Can you take some questions, please? Can you take some questions, please?
Harper refused to answer a single question.
It's how principled he is. Or is he courageous enough to fight for those things in which he believes?
You had an option, sir. You could have said, I am not going to do it. This is wrong for Canada. You had an option, sir, to say no, and you chose to say yes to the old attitudes and the old stories of the Liberal Party.
When I was there, my observation was that it was a privilege to be part of that public debate, and we had big debates.
Democracy's messy and people say things that are inappropriate, but I'd rather try to handle the problems of openness than to avoid them by restricting openness.
We're a wonderful country. We're a lot less easy to govern, easy to keep together than we think is the case. And we have always needed to talk to one another about what our goals will be. We've stopped talking to one another as Canadians over the last decade at least, and we need to renew that.
Is anybody paying any attention to this, or do they only pay attention to things like free trade or the war or that kind of stuff?
This is why we have governments and a democracy, in order that the people be able to express these problems, in order that those who govern them be able to discuss the solutions. And it's in this sense that we can have a good government, if we share not only the problems but the hopes for the future. And this is what we want to do in this election, and this is what we hope we will be doing in the future.
But to do this, we must be prepared to revise our scale of values. Cooperation must take precedence over competition.
Progressive conservatives out there like myself who feel they should vote Conservative, and you can't vote Liberal or New Democratic or other parties, don't vote at all. Just don't vote for him, because he's bad for the country.